Okay, guys. Good morning, guys. Now, right, guys. So, yesterday we started DQL language commands. Okay, and we said, guys, here whenever you want to view some information about a table, okay, particular table data, do you want to see it here? Okay, then we are using which command, guys? The select operation we are using here. So let me come. Suppose when I want to call, okay, the table, see, when we are using select statement and to calling your table, and what it was happen here, the table information will be complete table. We are retrieval here. We are pulling from the table. And now you can see in this, okay, here what we are using guys here, star. So star means all columns in your table. How many columns are there? The complete columns will be displayed here. And this was very small table. So for the small data, that means the small table informations, whenever you want to reading here, so there is no and not necessary to set some properties here. That means I don't want to do anything on my environment. Not working. Go and outside. Anybody is there outside? Speaker mic. Speaker పంచట్లేదు. ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటది? ఎందుకలగా ఓకే జస్ట్ పెట్టడమేనా అంతే. Now, check out, guys. Last people, is it okay for now? No. Full pet. Okay. Hmm? No, no, no. Right, guys. So see here, when you want to retrieving here, the table information, when your table is having the small information, that means a small scale data, if it was there in the table, so the table information displaying is not a big problem. Okay. So I was displayed here, and the table is also displayed in the perfect manner, like rows and columns. Problem is solved now. Listen here, otherwise get out. अरे क्लास मैंने स्टार्ट किया है यार. हाँ? Your problem, once you solve it, means you have to properly listen. Now why are you talking again? And why, one thing here, once we started classes, why again talking is needed? Hmm? I feel that this is a new batch, that's why I don't want to show my angry on you. Okay. But if I'm showing my angry on you, it's a different mechanism will come. Okay, now maybe you are the newcomers, I'm not a newcomer. Okay, now so lots of okay people I saw in my experience, but I'm just leaving that because of reason. Okay, the new students, just now we came outside from the panic situations. Huh? So that's why I don't want to see properly, and that was don't take as my weakness. Okay, na? I'm very strict and very angry person. Okay, na? You can ask my previous student, they can understand to you. So maximum 1 hour class, 1 hour, no need to talk anything. Okay, so that's why stop it here. Once class is started, stop it, because we need to finish our course in the target time. Okay, So that is your target and also my target. Understand? So when you encourage the people, supporting the people, what you are expecting that can be delivered. If you're not encouraging the people, you're not supporting, then your expectation also not good. When you are properly perfect, you are, then expect perfectly. You are not a perfect, then why are you expecting perfect? Huh? And I don't want to tell this all the things because you all of you matured people here. I'm not teaching like LKG students. Okay. I'm not teaching LKG, UKG people. Huh? And I hope that you all of you matured and well educated peoples. I hope that. Okay. Right. So don't make a noise here. Unnecessary time waste. Coming, sitting 1 hour class lesson, have a doubt, come and ask and leave it. That's it. यार कुछ नहीं करना, इसमें कुछ नहीं होगा यहाँ करने के लिए. This is not a sports or it is not a film shooting to show something. You have to show something in interviews. Okay, na? They are waiting for you. There you have to show your talent, what you have. Okay? In the classroom में कुछ नहीं होगा. जैसे आपने पढ़ा है colleges, just like that. Coming, attending, leaving. That's it. Okay? यार कुछ करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. Okay, whatever you want to do it, nothing was there here. You have to do that was outside of the class. Okay, right now. So don't waste my time. Okay, if you're wasting my time, I'm not finishing your batch within that time. Then later you are asking to me. Okay, so properly manage it. I'm also managing and finishing whatever I said, 60 to 70 sessions. Okay, and have a doubt subject wise, whatever you have, come and ask me. Of course, are you seeing that? Yes or no? Every time sitting here only now. After class also I'm waiting for you. So why want to wait? Okay, why I'm waiting here? Because if anybody have a doubts, they're coming and asking me. Okay, so that you have to do it as what you want it for your career. Unnecessary talking, what? क्या बात करते हैं? Outside talking, inside talking, hostel में talking. Yes or no? So leave it this all the things. Okay, observe proper. So now here I was displayed a small table. When you, I don't know the table is having how much data, but when you write this query, if your table is having a small amount of data, so the user no need to do anything here because my information was properly displayed here. Okay, it's a clear and it's a clearly showing as a tabular format. And if that information, if I want to say it here, I can understand that what is what. Okay. Oh, here there is no confusion. Okay. There is no clumsy here. The data is very perfectly displayed to us. In that cases, I don't want to do anything. So I just accept this. But all tables are not like that. Yes or no? All tables are not having a small data. And especially when you're working in a companies, you're working with what? Big data. Your tables are having the hundreds of rows, thousands of rows. So at that moment, if your table is having the big data, and that kind of table, if I want to read through my SQL Plus editor, okay, so how the data will be displayed? Is it properly, systematically displaying in this manner or not? Okay, let me see. Suppose I just call it one more table, whatever we designed in the yesterday, EMP table, I'm just calling now. Okay. So now what happened, you can see when I just call it here. So my table data was displayed. And carefully observe guys here. So whatever the table was displayed here, do have any proper systematical here? Can you see? So some clumsy was there now. So your columns are okay, splitting into next line. Data is also splitting into next line. And yes or no? Again, these columns are repeated again. One more time it was repeated, your columns again, and come back like this. So data will be 3 to 3, 4 to 4 rows are splitted. And can you see your columns also number of times it was repeated? So why should I want to repeat it, this columns number of times? Yes or no? So I want it, my tabular format means my data should be like this here. So this is perfectly, it is columns and it is having some rows, and each column wise your data also arranging into systematical order. Okay, so but here you can come when I call my EMP table, it was not like that. The complete your table will be splitting. Okay, and headings, column headings also repeated here. Yes or no? For every 3 to 4 lines, it was repeating now. So that means the data is not properly displayed. Okay, so in that cases, how I want to display my big data tables in proper systematical order. Okay, how to display and what we want to do for this. Okay, now right here there are two properties are there, guys, here to arranging of your data in proper systematical order. Okay, so what are those properties means? Okay, the first property we called as a page size property. So page size n, this is one property we need to set whenever you want to display the data into systematical order. So what it was saying that here observe page size, by default, every one page is having by default how many rows? 14 rows only it will be displayed. That means in a page, how many rows by default it was displayed means 14 rows are displayed in a page. Okay, now. So now here observe, for example, if I keep like this and if I want to go like this, what it was happening, you can see. For example, in my table, suppose I have a table. In this table, there are 100 rows. We have it here. Okay, there are how many rows? 100 rows are there. So these 100 rows I need to display on my screen. Then tell me each page will take how many here? 14 rows. So this 100 you need to split. How many pages? It will take approximately 7 and 8, 7.5. Okay, that means 8 pages. So these 100 rows, when you want to display, in your SQL Plus environment, so automatically here how many pages will take here? 8 pages, because each page is having only 14 rows. That means a page displayed capacity is 14 rows. Okay, now, so that is default. So like this, my table is having 100 rows. So 8 pages I need to display my data. That means your data was displaying into how many pages? 8 pages. Okay. So now you can tell me, my data I want to display into 8 pages is a better, or this 100 rows I want to display into 1 page is better? 1 page is better. So why should I want to go for split my data and go for next page, next page, next page? Yes or no? So these all 100 rows I need to keep and display into 1 page. So at this moment, I have to use what now? Page size property. So page size property, it was showing what now? To display number of rows. What purpose we are using here? To display number of rows. Number of rows, in a page. Okay, now. So to display number of rows in a page, and by default, each page is having 14 rows. And now here observe, this is my example. So to need to set this one, I don't want to go for like this. I want to display this 100 rows in one page. Okay, then what we want to do means here observe the syntax of this page size property. Set page size is n. This is our syntax. And suppose if I need here, if I'm going to show like a page size, I was given here 100. So that means here n is equals to 100, and here n is representing number of rows. So now here my table is having here how many rows here? 100 rows. So based on that number of rows in a table to display, you have to set here. So now I'm going to setting my page size is 100. So explicitly user has to go and set your properties. So I was set as per my requirement base. So 100. Now I set my page size 100. Now tell me, after setting this page size, after setting this page size, if I ask you, now how many pages will take? Only one page. It will take only one page. Understand my point now? Because already my page size is set how much? 100. Suppose if I set here the page size is 50, then how many pages? 2 pages it will be displayed, because not two pages it will be displayed. Okay, one page is capacity 50. So 50 plus 50, 100. So this is what page size and n value. So that's your wish. Okay, how much you set it here. So like if I use 500, that means in each page, how many rows can I display? 500 rows I can display here. Understanding now? This is page size property. I just skip it. And one more thing. Next one you can see. In this only, can you observe your data, whatever it is there, the row of data, it was splitting here again. Now we can see from here to here, it will be taken out. Okay, now? And the remaining after certain size here, after certain size, your data will be break it and displaying into next line. Yes or no? Certain size, it was break and displaying into next line. So like here also you can see this is entire the row, but this row is splitted certain time or certain certain range. It will be split, and the remaining data will displaying into next line. Okay, so why it was happening like this? Okay, means here observe. The reason is what now, guys? Here, suppose your example, you have here, I said my table having 100 rows. For example, each row, okay, each row, don't write, observe, each row, okay, each row data is having or is need to print the characters, maybe 100 bytes of characters will be there. 100 bytes of characters. But what it was happened, my lines by default, what it was happened, by default, each line is, okay, having here how much here? 80 bytes of memory for each line. So each line contain or having how many bytes? 80 bytes. Each line is having, okay, 80 bytes of memory only allocating here. Understand now? So now this is, and what it was say here, by default, each line having 80 bytes. So that means in this 80 bytes of memory, how many characters are fit? That many characters will be displayed. And more than 80 bytes of characters are there in the row, those remaining characters will go to display into next line. Okay, now let you see. For example, what I said in my table, each row data or each row data is having how many bytes of characters? 100 bytes of characters. Okay, but by default, how many characters? How many bytes here? 80 bytes. So now this row, I want to display my first row. So first row is displayed. Okay, fine. Up to here, it will be displayed. Then over. So 80 bytes of memory, whatever the default memory was there for each line, that memory is full. So in this memory, for example, how many characters you kept into this means, okay, here 80 characters will be taken. How many characters are taken? 80 characters. But my row is having how many characters? 100 characters. But by default, each line is 80 bytes. In 80 bytes, how many characters are fit? 80 characters. So out of 100, 80 characters already fit in the line. Remaining how many characters? 20 characters. The 20 characters, where it will go? In the next line. So 20 characters will go to the next line. Okay, now the 20 characters will go to the next line. Okay, remaining 20 characters. So the remaining 20 characters, it will be displayed here. So now tell me, how many rows I displayed here? Only one row. So one row data I displayed into how many lines? 2 lines. My concept understand now? So now let me see. Now my table is having how many rows? 100 rows. So these 100 rows, as per the default 80 bytes of memory lines, if I display, total how many lines displayed these 100 rows? 200 lines. because each row data will occupy the 2 lines. 100 into 2, 200 lines it will be displayed. So 100 rows data displaying on the screen in how many lines? 200 lines it will be displayed. Is it good or bad? Bad. Again, proper confusion. So same confusion here there now. See, data splitting. Line by line data splitting. Yes or no? The confusion is occurred. So now to avoid this problem and display that entire row, hundreds of characters, I want to display into one line only. Then what I want to do, this default memory I need to increase now. Increase or not? Yes. Then how I can increase, sir? Means here one more property is there, that is called a lines n property. Okay, lines n property. So this property is what it was telling, to display number of characters, okay, in a line. So number of characters in a line. So by default, each line is having 80 bytes of memory. Okay, allocation is 80 bytes. Okay, now that is a default. And now you can see, but my example is what now? One row data is having total 100 characters are there. Out of 100 characters, okay, 80 characters only fit in my 80 bytes of memory. Okay, remaining 20 characters will go to the next line. Okay, fine. So now what I want to do, guys, here, okay, remaining will go to next line. So to avoid this problem, okay, to use what now? My syntax will be like this. Okay, set lines n. And now I just go for here, set lines. Now I'm giving how much here? 100. So when I'm giving 100, that means how many bytes are you allocating for each line? 100 bytes. Then what happened? These remaining 20 characters also displayed into one line. Okay. Now, how many characters now displayed into one line? 100 characters. So now tell me here, so I have here 100 rows. Okay, after setting my lines here 100, okay, I was allocating some bytes here 100. Then tell me now these 100 rows are displayed into how many lines? 100 lines. Previously 200 lines. Now 100 lines. So it is a better now? Yes. So this is what we called as a lines property. Are you clear these two properties? So now we want to use these two properties to display my employee data, whatever the clumsy was there, okay, that I have to set now. So I have to set page size. Okay, I'm giving here 100. So set page size, I'm giving here 100. Okay, and later set lines. For example, I'm giving 160 bytes of memory. Okay, so after setting these two properties, now you can call your EMP table and see now. So now tell me, now your data in proper, is it tabular format? Now we can understand. So completely one particular format it will be displayed. Employee numbers is a one line, names is a one line, jobs one line, hire dates one line, salaries one line. So now when you see this table, then you feel like you feel good. Okay, because everything will be systematically. Understand na? So this is what. So finally the conclusion is what now? When you have to display your data in proper systematical order, okay, then you need to set two properties here. One is page size and one is lines. Your page size is nothing but how many rows you want to display in a page. That was. And lines means how many bytes you want to allocate for each line to printing of your characters. Okay, na? Right. But maximum how much I can display, sir? Here, observe. Suppose I just send it here. Set page size. Okay, I'm giving here 50,000 I was given now. That means in each page, how many rows can I display? 50,000 rows can I display? Is it possible or not? Let you see, I just executed. Yes, it is possible. But the same thing, if I given 50,000, one I'm giving now. That means I'm trying to display my number of rows. How many? 50,000 above. I try to display in one page. What it was happening, you can see, it was showing error. So what is error, guys, here? The page size option 550,001 out of the range. So that means in each page in SQL Plus editor, in each page, what is the maximum number of rows can be displayed? 50,000 rows can be displayed. More than 50,000 will go to next page. Okay, that's a page capacity. And next one is, I said in my lines, okay, 32,767 bytes. 32,767 bytes I can allocate for a line. So now let me see to execute it here. What happening? It is accepted. So that means I can. Okay. But in the same thing, 32,768 I was given now. Okay. What it was happening? It was accepted or not? You can see. So it was not accepted. So it was saying what? 32,768. It is a out of the range. So that means in one line, how many bytes of memory? 32,767. For example, each byte will take one character. Then how many number of characters I can display in one line? 32,767 characters I can display it here. Okay, so these are the maximum sizes of your page size as well as lines. Understanding now? So these are the two properties. Keep it always when you have to display your data into proper order. Okay, right. So these are the two small properties, guys, here. The next one. The next topic is text adding. Concatenation. Concatenation operator. So these are basic, the fundamental words. Okay, we have it here. Those we're discussing. Concatenation operator. So basically, concatenation operator, the purpose is what now, guys, here? To add two string expressions. To add two string expressions. So I think you have in Java also. Yes or no? Concatenation. When you are adding your string expressions, okay, one string to another string, one string to another string. If you add like this, so there we are using concatenation symbol. In Java, what is the symbol? Plus. We are using what? Plus. But here in this concatenation operator symbol, not a plus, it's like a pipe symbol. It's which symbol here? Like pipe symbols, we need to use it. Okay. Now, so let me come out and see the syntax. So I have to give it a string 1, okay, and concatenation and string number 2. Okay, so like this, you have to join this. For example, let you carefully observe. Suppose, come to check your table. Okay, I just call it now. So select a star from EMPs, my table is there. So this is my table information. We have it, guys. Okay, now, and after that, let you see, I want to display some information from this table in plain text format. I want to display, but here my data is having in the which format? Tabular format. Suppose you need to display plain text format, you have to display. So now I'm going to writing like this. Carefully observe. Select. Here, careful observe. Mr. So Mr is a string, single quotes. So careful observe. Mr is a string. To this Mr string, I am adding. That is called concatenation operator. What I'm adding here means I'm adding ename column. Ename is a column of my table. Can you see, guys, here? It's a ename now. Yes, ename is a column. So ename column, which data type? String data type, varchar 2. Okay. So now what I'm doing here, my string name, ename, I'm adding to Mr. Then what is my output? Mr. Smith, Mr. Allen, Mr. Word, etc., etc. Okay. Suppose up to here. Okay. I just call it here. What happened? You can see Okay, what happened guys here? Mr. Smith, Mr. Allen, Mr. Word, Mr. Jones, Mr. Martin, like it will be displayed. So Mr. is a string, ename column is also string. That ename column string data I'm adding to Mr. string. Clear now? So Mr. Okay, Mr. Smith. Okay, na? Mr. Smith. To this Mr. Smith, to this Mr. Smith, again I am adding. What I am adding here, Mr. Smith is working as a is called a string. Again, it is a string. So Mr. To this Mr. name is add. To this name is working as a adding. So how many strings here? Check out how many strings. Mr. is a one string. Ename is a one more string. Is working as a one more string. How many strings? 3 strings we are added. Okay. So Mr. Smith is working as a. I'm going to adding to this as a what here? Job column. So job column you can see. Job column is also. Can you observe? It is also varchar na? It is also varchar or not? String data. This is also string data. So Mr. Smith working as a what? As a clerk. Okay, I was given as a clerk. Up to here, I just call to my table. So what happened? You can see now. Yes. So what happened, guys? Here, all people data will be showing like this. So how it was showing here? Mr. Smith is working as a clerk, but in between clerk A, no space. In between is name, no space. Okay, so somewhat we displayed, but not spaces. Now you can give a spaces now. So where you have to give spaces here? Check out Mr. Smith. After Smith, you have to give a space now. No space. Space is also string. Okay. To this space string, what again? I'm adding. What I'm adding here is come on, working as a close. Working as a close. To this again, what I want to give again? Space. Again, I'm giving space. To this space, what I'm adding? Job. Now satisfied now? From EMP, let me see. All are coming to properly. Yes. So now it's a clear information it displayed. So Mr. Smith is working as a clerk. Mr. Allen is working as a salesman. So like properly we display. So this is called a plain text format. Your data is displayed here. It's not a tabular format. It's a plain text format. So like this, whenever you want to adding the two string expressions together, okay, and forming one sentence, you can use a concatenation operator. And this operator is very important in our PLSQL language. Okay, compulsory PLSQL language, we are using this one. Now take this one. And instead of this, here I will take here. Okay, the next one, okay, take here. Distinct keyword. Take next heading, distinct keyword. So distinct keyword, what it will and what is the purpose of this key? Okay, where we want to use means. So whenever you want to eliminate eliminate, okay, duplicate values. Eliminate which values? duplicate values from a specific column, okay, then you can use what now? Distinct keyword. So distinct keyword, especially we are using for to eliminate your duplicates. In a particular column, how many duplicates are there? All duplicates are eliminated here. Okay, now, so what is the syntax for this means? I have to give now. So distinct, and I want to send my column name. Okay, now, so distinct, and I want to send my column name. For example, let me check. Suppose I just come to my table now. Okay, this is my table. And can you see, guys, in this table, one of my column is called as a job column is there. So in job column, do you have any repetition of values? Yes, clerks are there. How many times clerk repeated? 3 or 4 times. Salesmen are repeated. Managers are repeated. Analyst is also repeated, but except president. So now if I want to call that specific column, then we are calling like a select a job from EMP table. Then what happened here? We just calling your job column, but we are not applying any, okay, the restriction we are not giving on this column. So that's why what it was happened, whatever the data was there in this column, all are displayed here, including your duplicates. Okay, but suppose on this column, okay, if I was applied here the distinct keyword, okay, on which column? Job. And from EMP table, let you see all duplicates are eliminated here and eliminated, and it was showing only unique values. So now analyst only one time, manager, clerk, salesman, and president. Okay, so this is a distinct keyword advantage. And not only for on this, even though when you call your numbers, okay, so department number column I'm calling, in department number is also having some numbers like 20, 30s, 10s are repeated. Now here also you need to apply your distinct keyword. Okay, here I have to distinct keyword on my DEPT number from EMP. Let you see what it was happen. Only the unique numbers are displayed 10, 20, 30. Okay, now, right. But this is, suppose this whatever you got it here, if this is not in the order, if it is not in the order, so if you need to display order, so we are using what now? Order by class. The what is order by class, I will show in the coming session. Okay, but just here ordering purpose I'm going to display. So now 10, 20, 30. Understand now? So like this, guys, here distinct keyword you can use to eliminate your duplicate values from a specific column. So order by class in the next session I will explain to you. Okay, right. And the next one is called alias names. So these are very, very small topics, guys. Here we will be finish it. Alias names. I'm not getting. Commit. Where is commit? If you write commit, no change. So commit is actually the command is not still we are not discussing. Commit is just a permanent saving purpose. Okay, but after this query you return, if you use commit, it doesn't happening anything to your table, because here I'm using select command. Select command only for reading purpose, not storage purpose. Okay, alias name. So tell me, guys, here a general meaning of alias. What is the meaning of alias? Huh? Ah. So nowadays you are listening. Alias name, so and so alias name. Yes or no? Ah. So alias name is nothing but simply we called as a some duplicate name. Okay. So we called as duplicate name. And even though nowadays so many people are having their nicknames also there. Yes or no? Like Chinni, Buji, Bablu, Bunty, Sonu, Monu, Motu, Chotu. Yes or no? Some nicknames are there. So can I say those nicknames are, can I say it is a aliases? Can I say it is aliases? Yes or no? Yes, I can say it. So maybe your close friends, your family members, they knows your alias name, then they knows your nickname, they will be called. Okay. So, but tell me whatever the name your father, mother, your sister, brother is calling, like Chinni, Buji, whatever it is. Okay. Those are permanently purpose we are using or just for temporary? Temporary. Temporary, and that too just for calling. Chinni, come here. Just calling. But other than the calling, can you use that name in anywhere? Like in your 10th class certificate, otherwise your government applications, your PAN card. Okay. Do you apply this? No, we can't apply that name. So in those things, we are applying our original names. Yes or no? But your Chinni, Buji, these are what now? Temporary names, just a calling purpose. So how we can say in our general life, okay? So in database also, aliases is going to be working like a temporary names. Alias is nothing but what now? It is a temporary name, or else we can say what? It is a duplicate name. So simply we can say. So temporary name or duplicate name. Now we are observed. But these names, why should we want to create, sir, in our database? What is the reason behind this? Means in the future, maybe you didn't get it now, but in the future classes, some topics we covered, then you can understand that the importance of aliases. For example, in the future session, we will discuss what now? Joins is one of the major topic. So when I need to implement this joins statement and joins queries, if I want to write it here, so I'm not saying for all joins, but few joins are there. So those joins, whenever you want to implement, compulsory alias names are needed. That means those joins, if it is implement means you should create a alias, because with the help of alias only I can do it. Otherwise I cannot do that requirement. Okay. So that is not fulfilled without a alias. So in that cases, mostly we are using aliases in joins, mostly. Okay. So now, and the second, one more session we are discussing in the future. These are the major topics, guys, here. What is now? Subqueries. In subqueries also, okay, few subqueries I want to implement now. If those subqueries, whenever you want to implement it, there also we need what now? Aliases. Again, if I need alias, I create alias, then I can fulfill that requirement. If I'm not creating alias, my requirement will not be fulfilled. So in those, in future, coming soon, okay, these all topics, we are using what now? Aliases, and their aliases will play very important key roles. Okay, now that how much important you can understand in coming soon. Okay, now right. So, but these names are what I said, guys. It's just for temporary. These names never save in your database memory. It just under query we are writing query execution level. This is working. After query is executed, it is not working. Okay, that means your alias name is valid up to query execution only valid. After that, no valid. It was disappear, destroyed. Okay, so that is called a temporary. Okay, right. So, but how we can create it means in the two levels we can create it, guys. The first level is called as a column level. Okay, alias at column level we can create, and second one we called as what now? Table level. The two levels we can create a aliases. So column and table. Column and table. So what is column level? In this level, we are created alias name. Okay, created alias name for what purpose? For columns. Okay, that's called a column level. So in this level, we are created alias name. We are created alias name. Created alias name for what purpose here? Table. So that's called a table level alias we called. Okay, now fine. And come back here to see the syntax now. So how I'm using this? Select. So I need to pass my column name 1 and I will give it here column column, okay, alias name 1, comma. I'm giving here column name 2 and immediately you have to send your column, okay, alias name 2, comma, and so on, okay, from your table name, and we are passing table alias name, okay, and then close. And now see is one example here. Let me come and see. Suppose I need to display some information about table. So generally we are using star and see this. So this is actually your original table. And whatever we have it here, this is called as a original table name. And these are called as a original column names. That means these are called a permanent names. So at the time of table creation, the which names are using there. So those names are permanent. Okay, na? So in those names are storing under databases, and these are the permanent names. But now instead of this permanent name through or original name through, okay, I want to display my data with the duplicate names. I want to display my data with the duplicate names. So in that cases, let me see. I'm going to writing like select DEPT number as a X, D name as a Y, and LOC as a Z, and from, okay, DEPT as a D. So now what happened here? I was created my aliases on my columns. So here X, Y, Z, these are called a column level aliases, and D is called a table level alias because it is a table name, and that immediately have to create alias. And these are the column names and column aliases. Suppose once I written like this and to executing this one, then you can see your data will be displaying into which names here? Alias names. And what I said, these names are not saved here, and these names are valid up to this query execution only valid. Suppose the query execution successfully done and it was displaying your result, then these names are not working. Okay, now? So this is what we can call as, but here observe. So these are temporary names. And even though if you want to see your table, for example, if you want to see your table, original structure will be there. What is my original structure here? DEPT number and D name. Okay, LOC. For example, I need to set here. Okay. Now you can see desk DEPT. Now what happened? Your original names are there. What is your original names? DEPT number, DEPT name, LOC. These are the original names, and a structure also showing this. But whatever we got it here, this is just for temporary purpose we are using. Just for temporary purpose we are using this name, and this is your table columns. Okay, now? Right. So this is how to create your column level and table level. Okay, just keep it here, and next you can understand that how and what the useful of alias. Okay, completed. Ah. So these are the small topics, guys, here. Okay, in the basic levels. Okay, right. Now, in the next some more concepts we will see on Monday session. I stop it here. Okay, right, and we'll go for on Monday. Okay, Monday I will continue the next session. Okay, right, guys. And one small announcement. HTML. Actually, today HTML JavaScript session classes are there, na? Cancel. Got it message, all of you? Okay, right. Thank you, guys. And ladies, na? First ladies, you can go.
Sir, my laptop 30 operating system 32 bits operating system. Download अरे 32 नहीं होगा यार नहीं हो किया कर रहा था बट हुआ नहीं सर 32 का वो क्या बोलते हैं सर्च कर रहा था लेकिन मिला नहीं बहुत सर्च करा हाँ वही भी बोल रहा था नहीं मिलेगा उसका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में दूसरा करवाना पड़ेगा 64 का तो 32 आउटडेट हो गया यार दोबारा क्या है क्या हाँ कब लिया लैपटॉप 3 ईयर पहले ये पहले ऐसा कुछ नहीं है पूरा 64 में आया मैंने पेंट कर लिया लेके आया हूँ वो पहले वही लिया रहा ओके सर इन लाइंस है ऑल नो 164 इन लाइंस है आपको सेट करना पड़ेगा आपको मर्जी हो मेमोरी भी इसमें वेस्ट नहीं होता है वैसे आपको पहले 100 देगा तो डेटा नॉर्मली नॉट डिस्प्ले होगा तो इसके हिसाब से आपको इंक्रीज करके जाना पड़ेगा सपोज दैट आई रोट 500 देन 500 मेमोरी आपको अलाउ करेगा माया 500 मेमोरी वो वेस्ट नहीं होगा तो मेरा डेटा कम है तो सपोज मैं 500 सेट कर दिया तो मेमोरी वेस्ट नहीं होगा डायनेमिक allocation is that much capacity. So we ask that the display depending on our taking spaces. So आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. Thank you. क्लास नोट्स अपलोड చేస్తాం
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనము క్యాప్స్ లో యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా సార్ అన్ని కమాండ్స్ ఇప్పుడు కేస్ సెన్సిటివ్ సార్ అది
కాదు కదా
లోవర్ కేస్ కూడా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు
నేను అది చెప్పాను కదా ఫస్ట్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ లో SQL అనేది నాట్ ఏ కేస్ సెన్సిటివ్ అని చెప్పాను
సింటాక్స్ కూడా
ఏదైనా రాసుకోవచ్చు సింటాక్స్ మొత్తం ఆపరేటర్ ఏదైనా
సార్ నిన్న డౌన్లోడ్ చేసిన తర్వాత సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్ ట్యాబ్ అని కొట్టినాను సార్ ఇట్లా వచ్చింది సార్ మొత్తము
అలా ఎందుకు వచ్చిందంటే మీకు అదే పేజ్ సైజ్ లైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదండి అవి సెట్ చేసుకోండి అవి సెట్ చేస్తే మీకు వస్తుంది ఇది ఏంటిది
నేను వీడియో
ఉంటావా సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ ఫ్రమ్ ట్యాబ్ సిస్టమ్
ఆ సిస్టమ్ లోనే సార్.
ఆ సిస్టమ్ అంటే వాళ్ళ దగ్గర ఒక 1000 ఉంటాయి టేబుల్స్.
నేనేం క్రియేట్ చేయలేదు, ఎందుకు ఇట్లా వస్తుంది
అవి ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ టేబుల్స్. అంటే మీరు అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ మనకు డిఫాల్ట్ కదా, మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసేటప్పుడు కొన్ని టేబుల్స్ డిఫాల్ట్ గా మనకు వస్తాయి, అవన్నీ చూపిస్తుంది. 1000 ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి.
49 rows చూపిస్తుంది సార్, 49 tables.
సో అవి ఏం కాదు, అది లైక్ అది ఇన్బిల్ట్ కదా. స్ట్రింగ్ వాల్యూస్ ఓకే. డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నెంబర్ ఎక్స్ లో డిస్ప్లే చేస్తాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నేమ్ మనకి అకౌంటింగ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ రీసెర్చ్ స్ట్రింగ్ వాల్యూ వేరే నేమ్ ఇచ్చాము. డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నేమ్ అని స్ట్రింగ్ వాల్యూ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆప్షనల్ ఎక్స్ అని పెట్టాను. ఎక్స్ కి నేను అప్లై చేయలేదు. చూసావు అక్కడ అప్లై చేస్తాను చేయలేదు, కానీ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తున్నా అలియాస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాను. అలియాస్ అంటే ఏంటి, జస్ట్ టెంపరరీ కోసం. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒరిజినల్ కావాలంటే సెలెక్ట్ స్టార్ ఇచ్చాను. డిపార్ట్మెంట్ మీద వై పెట్టాను. నెక్స్ట్ టైం సెలెక్ట్ వై అలా కాదు, ఏం చెప్పాను అదే అలియాస్ అనేవి ఆ క్వరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ వరకు మాత్రమే డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది. వన్స్ క్వరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ అండ్ డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది అంటే మీకు అది పనిచేయదు, మళ్ళీ కొత్తగా రాయాలి. మన క్వరీ వై పెట్టాను నేను, డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నేమ్ వై పెట్టాను, అది అక్కడికే చూపిస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ టైం నేను రాయాలి అంటే సెలెక్ట్ దీని మీద రాయాలి. వై అంటే సెలెక్ట్ వై అంటే రాస్తే రాదు నాకు. క్లాస్ వస్తాను, ఆపరేట్ స్విచ్ చేయొచ్చు, ఫంక్షన్ స్విచ్ చేయొచ్చు, క్లాసెస్ స్విచ్ చేస్తాం, మెకానిజం చూడాలి. అది మీకు చెప్పట్లేదు, రెగ్యులేషన్ ఉన్నా కాబట్టి మీకు ఫర్దర్ వస్తుంది, చెప్పిన వెంటనే వస్తాయి ఫర్దర్. ఓకే, అది మీరు నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ లో చూడొచ్చు. వస్తాయి వెంటనే వస్తాయి. ఆల్రెడీ లాగిన్